Okay, welcome everybody. Today I thought I'm gonna show you a new feature that I've been working on with, which is customizable projectiles and spawn patterns and move patterns. So what do I mean by that? Let me show you here. I got a sheet menu so we can do this pretty fast. So let's just go into the projectile patterns first. So what a projectile pattern is, that is how the projectiles spawn. So let's take buckshot for example. That's like a shotgun blast. So let me add that and show you in the preview here. So here you can see that it's kind of a shotgun blast, but with a wider arc here. So this is how the projectile will look when I go into the game. Let me show you this. Let's just find an enemy to shoot here. Oh, we killed him right away. So as you can see now, I miss with a lot of them, which is one of the disadvantages with a buckshot. So, okay, let's take this further. That is the spawn pattern. So what is move patterns? Well, the move patterns is the way the projectile behaves when it's moving. I guess that's the best short description I can give you. So let's check what that means. So we got a corkscrew, and we got a snake shot, and we got a ping pong. So the ping pong goes back and forth. And the corkscrew is like a helix movement, and the snake shot is like a snake. So let's check the snake shot out. So now I got a buckshot and a snake shot. So if I can also remove and trash the buckshot. And in that case, I just got the normal projectile, and as you can see, they move like a snake. So now that you've seen the buckshot, let's go with the burst shot with that one. So we add that. Now we got the burst shot, which is like a, like most guns, pam pam pam, pam pam pam, a burst shot. So that's the snake pattern with the burst shot, and that's quite what you expect, right? So what I can do more now is, let's say I get another upgrade with a buckshot. What happens then? Well, then you got the burst shot plus the buckshot. So right now I have the main pattern is the burst shot, which is pam pam pam. So it first shoots 3 shots and then the buckshot. So I can rearrange these, and I don't believe that buckshot and burst shot does that much difference, but let's check it what it does. A little bit of difference, yes, little bit, not that much, but it is a difference. So I'll be adding more of these, of course, but let's keep the burst shot for now. And we got the movement orbital. That's a working name. That's actually the snake shot. So, but never mind that. It's just a playtest, so you can try this out whenever you want. But just mind that the name is orbital, but it's actually a snake shot. Okay, so we got the burst shot and we got the orbital. So let's check another movement. So what happens if I add corkscrew? Then we got the snake movement with a helix. So without the snake movement, it just goes in circles like this. But if I add something else, it gets the move patterns blend into each other. So you can play around with this a lot. The flank shot is a triple shot, but it goes in a triangle pattern. So this is how it looks when you got the helix and the burst shot and the flank shot. So what happens if I change the flank shot now to be the dominant layer. And then it looks like that. Not that much of a difference on them, but still something. Other patterns can do other stuff. So let's take the birdshot away. We just got the helix and the flank shot for now. And we can let's actually try to add some upgrades to this. So we can also have other upgrades, like say we have an elemental upgrade. We have a fire staff. So now we can go in and check the preview. Now we got the fire and the helix and the flank shot. So they create pretty cool patterns, and you can play around with this. So let me just show you what happens if I add a lot of different patterns and see how it looks. So we got a flank shot. That's a 111, not that fun. But let's add the bird shot, and we add snake shot. Now we got a totally different pattern here. So let's rearrange them. As you can see here, this is a totally different pattern. And I must say, I don't know. I can't predict how these patterns will evolve. That's up to you guys on how to play them. So why would you want to do this at all? So what upgrades do we have? Well, we got a choke burst. That's an upgrade that changes the behavior of shots in the way that, let's say, the buckshot, for example, that has a declining damage over range. So if you hit the enemy close, you do more damage, and far away, the damage declines. So eventually it will just be 1 damage per shot. What choke burst does is that it sets the minimum damage to 10. And that makes birdshot very, very powerful, since you don't have to suffer the penalty of the range, the damage decrease of the range. And I also got a crescendo upgrade that makes especially the burst shot very, very powerful. So whenever there's a hit within 0.2 seconds directly after an enemy, the second and third shot gets a 50% damage boost. So again, very powerful for the burst shot. But also, whatever shot you have, if you get enough fire speed, that will benefit you. And we also got the volcanic spread. That's when projectiles are close enough. Let me just show you that one actually. Let me see if I can. So we'll see here if we can. That's on projectiles, and we got that was the volcanic spread. So let's see if we can see it here. Kind of hard to see here actually. So let's see if we can get it here then. Or maybe they're not. There we go. So if bullets are close enough, there's lightning in between them. And when they get hit by the lightning, they of course take damage. So with these upgrades, it's already starting to look a bit chaotic, as you can see. But let me go through with the other upgrades for the movement and patterns before I show you how to escalate this further. Okay, so besides the volcanic spread, we have also the flanking crits. Flanking crits is when you hit an enemy, not a direct hit in their stomach or in the front of the enemy. If you hit them on the side, you do a critical hit. So that's very good for the helix and also for the snake pattern. And in addition to that, we get a path charge. And that actually increases the damage the further a bullet has been traveled. And that's like a spiral movement that makes the bullet travel further, since the range is always calculated from the player. So if you got 30 in range, it's 30 meters in front of you, no matter what trajectory the bullet takes before it reaches that range. So if you got snake bullets and helix, for example, the bullet will travel a lot longer, and it's 2.5% per meter with a cap on 100. So that's I believe you can find really cool synergies with this. If you play around, you can find some variations just on these few I've added for the demo and for the playtest. I would really like to see people try this out. So let's do something chaotic here. Let's add even more stuff to this, and then what do I have? Do I have corkscrew? So I got the flank shot, burst shot. Let's add a triple shot to this, or a flank shot. Triple shot is more fun. So let's add that. Maybe we can have some more stuff on our... Should we blow them up? No, I think they will die too fast. So piercing, that's fun. And also some split. So whenever we hit something, the bullet will pass through. And besides that, we will also split the bullet. So let's see if my computer can handle this at all. Okay, so now we don't have that many enemies. But let's change that. Let's make it a lot of them. Well, this is what you call a game-breaking build, I would say. But of course, these upgrades is not that easy to get. So you will very rarely see this kind of upgrades. But let's see how far we can push this before my computer breaks. Okay, so what should we do? The recording sheets, that's something I use to record faster. So let's change the spawn rate to very fast, like 1 second. And that's five enemy spawners, so there's 5 per second by this. So let's see if I can survive that. I believe I could. And also let's go get a quest as well. Oh, sorry, I don't Whoa. Well, there's definitely a lot happening on the screen, but the computer seemed to manage this pretty well, even though there's a lot of projectiles. So I'm getting damaged. Okay, so let's make me invincible as well, so I don't... Oh, holy moly, a lot of enemies. Okay, so I probably need to add some sheets here to survive. So let's add some regeneration and lifesteal, just so I don't die when we are trying to push this. So let's add these, all these. And let's add a poison aura, lightning staff, frost aura, and chain lightning, why not? Let's add some familiars to heal me. I believe now my computer will have real issues. I'm just smacking on. I mean, this is not the usual run when you get all this. But let's see if we can break stuff. Oh, kind of hard to see, to be honest. It's starting to get a little bit hard for the computer, but this is what you would call a game-breaking build. Maybe there's some reasons to lower the particles a bit, so you can see more what's happening. But then again, this is not the usual build. So. Let's see if we can get it. So for now I turned off the HUD. So you don't have to look at the HP and all that. So let's see if we can break the game. Let's add some more enemies. I actually thought that the computer would handle this a lot worse. But I also did some optimizations, not because one of the issues in the beginning was that all the patterns and all the movements happened in the same frame. So I actually had to move them out a bit, so the first pattern happens within the first 3 frames and the second layer happens within the third to 6 and so on. So. But as you can see, it's not like 50 FPS now. So now I've triggered the game break function. I think. Yes, I think we did it. So we got the reduced terrain now. And soon enough, all of the enemies will blow up and I will win this round because I got too overpowered and the game engine couldn't handle it. So that's the mechanic of the game break also. And now that happened. So whenever that happens, either if you achieve absurd goals like a lot of kills or combos or many enemy spawns, you trigger the game break function, but also if the game engine can't handle holding 30 FPS anymore. So there's 2 ways to trigger the game break mechanic in this game. So that's all for now. Thank you very much for looking at the video. Bye bye.